The Orioles tried to keep 2 Rule 5 pitchers in their bullpen last season and also carry outfielder Anthony Santander, who couldn't shed his status for 44 days. They tried to keep 2 Rule 5 infielders this year and also carry reliever Pedro Araujo, who needed 17 days in the majors before he could be optioned. One of baseball's conditioning drills should include lifting such a heavy burden. Nestor Cortes Jr. didn't make it past April last year. Araujo was designated for assignment this week, but he returned to the organization Thursday after the Orioles worked out a trade with the Cubs. Infielder Drew Jackson was designated yesterday, separating him from shortstop Richie Martin, the first overall pick in the Rule 5 draft. "I haven't really had that experience, so I didn't know going in what that was going to be like," said manager Brandon Hyde. "In Chicago we kept Hector Rondon 1 year and he turned out to be our closer for a few years following, so that was a really nice Rule 5 pick. I just haven't had a ton of experience in the Rule 5 process, so I was interested to see what that was going to be like. I was really relying heavily on Mike, Elias, and the boys to kind of coach me through how we were going to handle it. Richie Martin's been really good, and Drew had a great spring training and made the team by his performance and how he played and his versatility. And this was just one of those situations where you can't keep everybody and we just needed an arm badly, and that's what it came down to. Jackson's removal should create more chances for Cedric Mullins to start in center field no matter the opposing pitcher." Hyde was sitting Mullins against left-handers, but he no longer has the right-handed hitting Jackson as an option in center. A 3-man bench also cuts down on the choices. Joey Rickard can play center field against left-handers, but it's more complicated if Chris Davis is on the bench. Trey Mancini is likely to play first base while Dwight Smith Jr. continues to start in left field. Rickard would be plugged into right while Mullins plays center. It happened last night against J.A. Happ. Mullins was in center and batted ninth with Smith in left and Rickard in right, and he singled in the 5th inning. The Orioles eventually could go back to a 4-man bench, but they need the extra pitcher with the heavy early usage of the bullpen. Elias was able to keep Araujo in the organization, and he'd probably like to do the same with Jackson if the Dodgers take him back. There's no reason why the Dodgers wouldn't accept him, but they don't necessarily have to hold on to him. They left him exposed in the Rule 5 draft. Make an offer. There are more international signing bonus slots in the till. Jackson is a talent and the Orioles need more of it in their organization. He may not have a position, but he is versatile and can run. The AAA Norfolk roster includes infielders Jace Peterson, Zach Vinchedge, Jack Reinheimer, and Christopher Bostic. Useful players for sure, but none of them are considered prospects. The Orioles must really like infielder Hanser Alberto to keep him over Jackson. Hyde has complimented Alberto many times, the tools and intangibles, but he was claimed off waivers 4 times in the offseason. Alberto appeared to be sitting on the roster bubble again during the final days of spring training, but the Orioles brought him north and released veteran Alcides Escobar. Alberto was 4 for 6 before last night, including a pinch hit single in Thursday's home opener after replacing Davis and receiving an ovation with sarcasm dripping like a leaky faucet. Given the start at third base last night, Alberto went 1 for 4 with a double and walk. All of the Orioles lined the dugout railing before the game to watch the celebration of Frank Robinson's life. Hyde, the coaches, veterans and young players who received a history lesson. That was a pretty special deal, Hyde said. I give a lot of credit to our guys for being out there and honoring Mr. Robinson and his family and all the great Oriole past players that were sitting up there in the chairs. I heard that they do ceremonies really well here and saw it firsthand. So, yeah, I thought that was a really special moment. I think that's a special day for all of baseball for how we were celebrating his life, and it was really cool listening to Jim Palmer and Boog Powell and Brooks Robinson talk about some stories. I just thought it was really well done. It's special to be a part of that, and just to be here in those guys' presence and have those guys come through the dugout and high-five guys and shake guys' hands, it's very, very meaningful. And for a lot of our guys to hear the numbers from Frank and what he did and show the highlights on the big screen, it was pretty cool. Asterisk, the Athletics have released former Orioles pitcher Parker Bridwell from their AAA roster. Former executive Dan Duquette was criticized by fans and media for trading Bridwell to the Angels for cash considerations on April 17, 2017, and especially after the right-hander went 10-3 with a 3.64 ERA and 1.20 WHIP in 21 games, 20 starts. But Bridwell allowed 13 runs and 14 hits with 5 home runs in 6 2/3 innings with the Angels the following year, and he's been claimed off waivers by the Yankees, Angels and Athletics before his release on Friday. Shameless plug alert, I'm appearing on O's Extra, airing at 12:30 p.m. on MASN.